Welcome to day 2, or the second installment of my Microsoft Flight Simulator series, where I dive deep into the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're not doing IFR yet. We're still gonna stick with VFR. We're gonna go do some bush flying. Fly one of my favorite airplanes in real life to fly, which is the Savage Cub. We're just gonna cruise around Nevada and do something we can't do in real life, which is go check out Area 51. I don't know if Microsoft has put any Easter eggs in there somewhere, but we're gonna go see what we can find. Maybe there's something. But yeah, we can go bust some restricted airspace, which you dare not do in real life. I've flown past Area 51 plenty of times, but yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to go in there. So we'll do some bush flying around Area 51. I think that's kind of fun. Just a quick note, a lot of you in the last video pointing out the drop frames. Now, while editing that, I was really frustrated in seeing them because the gameplay didn't have that, those stutters. It was the recording that was doing it. The problem I have is I'm single PC playing and recording, and although my PC runs the game fine, when I am recording, it starts bogging down hardcore. The game is prioritized, so it's fairly smooth, but yeah, the recording is not. So for this video, I'm gonna drop it down to 1440p, and I might throw a little frames per second up, just so you guys can see what kind of frames it's doing. The downside of 1440p is once you've seen it in 4K, it's really, really hard to go back. But just for the sake of making these videos, I'm gonna hop over to that. So anyway, let's jump in the sim and go check out Area 51.
All right, so main menu. We're gonna load up a little flight here. I figured we're starting Vegas. It'd be kind of a nice spot to get going out of. We have a choice between the X Cub or the Savage. It was pretty awesome to see the Savage Cub here. I'm friends with the owner of Slin Aviation, Pascal, and I think he's pretty happy to see that. And I did see that they announced the Shock Cub as well. So, Pascal, if you're watching this, freaking well done. The X Cub, I'm really quite disappointed in it, honestly. It just doesn't fly like the real thing at all. I do want to talk a bit about the tailwheel physics in the game. The trikes fly beautiful, awesome. But there's some stuff lacking on the tail wheels. So, since I'm a tailwheel pilot, I figured let's delve deep. So I don't enjoy flying the X Cub a whole lot. This is where it gets really fun. Cool. Well, I will make that our. We can probably actually. I think this is. Which one is it? There's so many A4 spaces out here. Indian Springs, Homey. I think that's. 76 nautical miles, that's almost an hour in this cup, so it's gonna be a flight and a half, but that's all right. Again, golden hour, I just love flying in golden hours, and I think if we've got clear skies, I'll be a happy chappy. So the 1440p is taking me a little bit to get used to, like everything's just a little bit more fuzzy, but that's not the game, that's just the fact that I've downscaled it. Yeah, once you've seen 4K, it's so hard to go back, so hard. But yeah, we'll go load up and go have a little fly. All right, so we are on the ground at Vegas. We're gonna get fired up and head out of here. Nice, beautiful desert morning. I grew up in the desert, and I just have such a deep love for this part of the world in real life as well. So I've done a lot of flying out here, so it'll be kind of fun to see what it looks like on the sim. You guys can see up on the top left corner, I do have the frames per second put up there. 1440p at 30 hertz. You don't need more for a flight simulator. You're not racing, it's plenty. So we'll see what it ends up doing there. Keep in mind, I do have a pretty bad internet connection as well, so every now and then it bogs up and then loads a bunch of scenery. So the system's working hard. It's a 2060 Super. Again, the details are in the description. So this is kind of an ideal test, I think. Most people would probably be running it at 1440p. Some people might be streaming it, so recording is a bit more intense. Is it? No, I don't know. It's probably about the same as streaming, so it's probably a good test for some single PC streaming stuff. I'm not able to successfully single PC stream on this setup. But yeah, 4K is probably out of the question for a bit longer. I think the 3000 series RTX cards will be pretty sweet, and probably a good. The timing on that is probably pretty good. If you think about it, because the sim is capable of so much more than what you're about to see. We're gonna hop in, we're gonna fire up, and we're gonna go VFR, nice and low level, watch the sunrise as we go over into Area 51. Anyway, brakes are on, we'll throw the mags on, and probably pull the choke out a little bit, and then we can throw the master on, and yeah, swing her over. Starts right up. I'll get rid of that choke a little bit slower. Rotax doesn't like you just dumping the choke because it actually has a starter carb. It's a starter. It's not really a choke. It's a starter carb. So you let go of the choke slowly and then throw in throttle. We've got someone on final. So while we're waiting for them, we can throw on our transponder to altitude. We can have a quick final check. The lights are on, everything else is on, the engine is up to temperature, almost there, and yeah, I think that pretty much takes care of everything for us. And so this is all real traffic. These are people somewhere else in the world flying right now. Is that guy going around? Whoa, that's a long landing. Alright, well, caution wake turbulence, but we're gonna take off. So I do want to flip-flop. Alright, so we are good to go. We're going to taxi out. One nice thing, though, is it's clearly, airflow-wise, it's clearly simulating. So if I get the power up and I bring that tail up just a little bit, you know, that's pretty cool that I'm able to play around with that. And it's pretty realistic. It feels just like it does in real life if you're you know, bringing that tail up. Now the downside is with the brakes being so slow to react, you know, if you nose over, that's your point of reaction, is you let go of the brakes. That's like your final call. You know, if you're all the way stick back and it's still punching forward, then you cut the throttle and you dump the brakes. But yeah, it doesn't allow me to do that. So anyway, we are going to get that tail up just because we can, and then right about there we'll let go and we start our roll. And there's 40, and we'll dump the flaps and pull up. And she's nice and able, and get rid of the flaps, sink, and then be out of here. So that was airborne in pretty much no time at all. So something worth mentioning, you know, as we're looking at the strip, you'll notice that some of the buildings sort of are taking time to really render up and get that fine detail in them, and that's because of my internet connection. So I've got really bad internet, especially if you consider that I'm living in a developed country. But this is the best I can get out here. So I'm dealing with like 2 meg down, 3 meg down at best this time of morning. So you know, it will make a difference about how this all loads up and the time that it takes to get this stuff, you know, up and loaded. So keep that in mind when you do watch the scenery, you know, sort of lag behind a little bit. This is all the real-time data stuff that it's pulling down. So it starts off with, you know, the offline data, but once it does load, I mean, it's stunning. It's really quite awesome what you end up seeing once it's loaded. So really can't complain in the big scheme of things. But yeah, there's the strip down there. Right down there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to be here. And we are officially, I've been cruising away here for a while, but we are officially in Area 51, as you guys can see on the map here. This is the border, so we're in it. We should right now, in theory, we should have some F-22s on our wing, but yeah. And as you can tell, the desert is a really, really hard thing to model. Like you know, the thing about deserts is it's all in the detail. Everything's in the detail, and that becomes extremely hard to really translate into a visual image. And they've somehow managed it. Like, well, we'll go do some flying in my home country, Namibia, as well. You know, just to like really showcase what they've done. But the deserts look good, and that's so hard to do. So I'm really impressed with it. I grew up in deserts. I love deserts, so I'm really happy about that. Because yeah, it's fun to fly out here. And the best thing as well is you can see you can actually see an inversion layer right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right there's an inversion layer. That's how well they've simulated the atmosphere. That's freaking insane, and it just looks and feels like a crispy desert morning. You know, you've got haze and visibility's reduced, and you got these layers of blues with the distance in the mountains. I compare this to real flying, and the visuals come pretty freaking close, honestly. Pretty freaking close. So I think probably around about here somewhere we'll go drop down and have a little look if we can't find a spot on the mountains to go land. I think that'll be quite fun. Alright, so we are shooting over. So that right there kind of looks suitable to me. Yeah, I think that piece right there, get things nice and slow. Make it a little bit more challenging for ourselves. We're getting one notch of flap in and the second notch. And we're gonna just try our best to just pass these trees, and then we'll drop it down. And just like that, we're on the ground, and you can wheelie it out nicely and drop that tail and then swing it around. And there we are. As you can tell, we've just landed in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is not anything specific. We got ourselves some nice bushes, few rocks everywhere, and some nice trees. So yeah, really fun part of the sim is being able to throw down just about anywhere and have a little bit of fun. So we have officially landed in freaking Area 51. We're good there, and we'll release the brakes and we'll get off and going. And right about there we can dump the flaps and pull it. And yeah, I mean, I would love to have performance like that in real life. Like, honestly would love to, but yeah, considering how high we are and stuff, it won't perform quite that well. But still super fun to just go play around, you know. Let's try a bit of a sloped. Alright. And we'll swing it around. Come on! Ah! It's always such a... Oh, that's a nice grassy hill. That one's sweet. That one's really freaking cool. Up we go. Swing it around, and down we go. I would have probably whammied it out there at the bottom. That's quite steep, but yeah, what a sick spot. What a freaking sick spot. So if I'm not mistaken, just behind this hill should be the actual airport for Area 51. I think it's Homey Airport, something like that. It'd be really cool if they had some Easter eggs here. That'd be fun. Could be an alien standing somewhere or something. They should do that. They should totally do that. Yeah, it's definitely like when you start getting some altitude, the scenery really starts popping. You know, that's when it really reveals itself to be pretty awesome. So there we go, Area 51. How crazy is that? This is literally a place that most of us, if not all of us, will never get to experience. You can definitely see all of this from satellite imagery, so no huge surprise here, but they've got a nice big runway. They've got like an extended runway here. That's super long. I wonder what that's for. man, they have like all sorts of rooms. Clearly massive hangars here. This is a big facility. This is definitely a big facility. Look at all this infrastructure here. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, well, let's go land. You could literally... I wonder how many touch and goes I could do on this runway. So that's not how to land it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We flew in Area 51 in a bush plane.
All right, that concludes today's video. So tomorrow, I think we'll maybe do some IFR for once. Maybe just go shoot and approach. It'd be nice if we had VATSIM so we could, you know, have some air traffic control and stuff. But for now, this will be all right. I think what I might do is do a series where you guys let me know in the comments what area you want me to fly over, and I'll try and cover as many as possible. So we'll do a video on just that, where we go fly in all different spots, and you guys can see where your favorite spots look like. So yeah, let me know down below, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see, and I'll probably pick like 10 or 11 or 12. We'll see how many I can fit into a reasonable video, and then we'll go cruise around there. And then just a reminder, I do stream on Twitch 3 times a week, flight simulator stuff and racing and a variety of other stuff. So if you do want to follow me there, that'd be sweet. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, like this video if you liked it. It helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me out even more. And yeah, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow with a bit of IFR stuff. So till then.